Hey, Disney cruisers, and welcome to the DCL community where we are here to help you plan, prepare for, and get excited for your Disney cruises. You guys know me. I'm Rebecca. I am your host and admin of the DCL community. And today we're excited to talk about something not so spooky, but something really exciting, the Halloween on the high sea sailings on Disney Cruise Line. This is something exclusive to the cruise lines, and we're so excited to be talking about it with Hunter. So Hunter, I know you have some slides introducing yourself, so I'm going to get those added in. And then we'll just jump in. And you guys let us know as you're coming in. Feel free to say hello and let us know where you're watching from and if you have a Halloween on the High Seas cruise planned or if you're thinking about it. So that way we can kind of gear this conversation to you guys. But Hunter, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey guys. I know it's looking Christmas back here, but we just finished Halloween on the High Seas sailing earlier this month, so we just wanted to talk about that. Actually, Rebecca and I both recently did one this year. Anyways, my name's Hunter. I'm a travel advisor with Jayco Travel. I've been a travel advisor for almost 9 years. I've been on 25 Disney cruises across all 5 of Disney's ships, and I have so much firsthand experience and knowledge to share with you guys. And I just really love Disney cruising. I love everything from the private island, the crew, the unlimited ice cream. I think Disney Cruise Line has the best character interaction compared to the other Disney destinations. For my family, it's just the perfect mix of Disney and relaxation plus getting to see all those beautiful ports.
Yes. Oh, so true. And yeah, Hunter was on the Wish recently. I was on the Fantasy. It looks like we have somebody who's on the Magic. So we're all going to have to compare and contrast to how these sailings were this year.
Yes. All right. So just to kind of kick off, if you want to reach out to me, this is the way to contact me. I posted this in the Facebook group in the comments as well, so you can get to the slideshow that we're sharing right now. But the easiest way to contact me is my email. I'm hunter@jcotravel.com, hunter@jcotravel.com. And Rebecca will put the contact information as well in the comments.
Yes. And just know, guys, Hunter services are totally free for you. So if you're trying to figure out if this is better, or a lot of times we'll get the question of, should I do Halloween on the high seas or the very maritime? Let her be a resource for you and help you through that decision-making process. Again, her services, her knowledge, her expertise are totally free for you to use. So reach out.
All right. Can you hear me, Rebecca?
I can.
Okay, because I can't hear you.
Oh, no.
All right. So my specialties are family travel, allergy travel, accessible travel, and concierge stateroom. So I have both a son and a daughter. They've been sailing since they were little ones. My husband is an amputee, so I have experience with accessible staterooms because we have sailed accessible as well. We've sailed concierge on the ships. And then also my husband has celiac disease, so he can have gluten, no cross-contamination. And then my son has a nut allergy. So we do also have experience with nut allergies as well. So very allergy friendly in this family. My specialties.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you have anybody who needs anything related to allergies and accessibility, Hunter is your go-to for this. She knows her way around all the ships and making sure that everybody is kept safe on board.
All right. So where to start if you want to plan with me? The first thing is to just contact me. But even before then, it's important to brainstorm with your travel party the time of year you want to vacation. Um, at least the season, or if you want a special cruise during that time frame, at least knowing that which themed cruise you want, then you can collaborate with me to decide which sailing, which itinerary is best for you and your family. And we go over everything together. You'll review the Disney Cruise Line proposal I sent over to you, and then you'll lock in your stateroom, and we'll start the fun planning process.
Yes, and then it really kicks off.
All right. So, like we mentioned tonight, we're talking about Halloween on the high seas. Again, Rebecca and I both sailed on one this fall. I've been on 3 personally, and I just absolutely love them. So, these are kind of the topics that we will cover tonight.
Awesome. And then you guys let us know as we're going through about any questions that you might have.
Yes.
So yeah, let's kick off with when do these kick off?
So the Halloween on the high seas sailings typically start the second week of September. The date just depends on where the sailing falls. So I saw some like September 9th, but then I saw some later like September 13th when I was quickly looking tonight. And then they go through the sailing that has Halloween night within the sailing. So this year I was on a sailing with Halloween night. So we sailed October 30th through November 3rd, and that was a Halloween on the high seas sailing.
Awesome. Okay. So they go through and then I guess you get the season, everything kind of after Labor Day is when it's kind of fair game.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Oh, so
So the
pretty.
decor is similar but different on all the ships. On the Wish, it's significantly different. The just aesthetic of all of the decor is different. You can kind of see the pictures on the right. The top left and the top right pictures are both on the Wish. You can see that it's just the Wish is just a completely different ship, so the decor is different. The window clings are villains instead of the pumpkins on the other ship. So you'll see the decorative portholes, you'll see decorative garland on the railings, and then you'll see the Halloween trees in the atrium.
Very cool. Yeah. As soon as you walk on, when you see the trees, it's beautiful.
It really is. So the pumpkin tree is kind of the nostalgic Halloween on the high seas decor. These trees are not just decorative, they kind of come to life with storytelling and lighting. And they all have names. So you can see I listed above the picture the names of the trees on each ship. So on the Disney Wish, which is what I was recently on, the name is Boo for the tree. And it is a very popular event on the Halloween on the high seas sailing that you'll see in the Navigator app when they do their caretaker storytelling. So there's a caretaker for each of these trees on the ship. And during this storytelling event, they will kind of talk about the Pumpkin King and the history of Halloween and the tree, and it'll come to life with music and lighting, and it's very cool. So if you want to partake in this event, heart it on your Navigator app. It'll send you a push notification 15 minutes before it starts, but I highly recommend getting there like 30 minutes before it starts to pick your seat.
Yes, agreed. And on ours, it was a slightly different story this time, which was interesting. It was about a different legend. So they do a really great job of just making everybody feel involved. But you're right, get there early because all the way up were people just leaning over the edges. If you have kids who want to sit, make sure you get there extra early. Have them run around the atrium or the Grand Hall a little bit, get out some of that energy before story time. Oh, so cute.
Yeah, so if you don't want to be down in the masses, go to decks like 4 or 5 and just kind of stand around the railing.
Yes, agreed. Awesome.
All right, so merchandise. We get a lot of questions in the group about merchandise. So you will see some select Halloween merchandise available in the shops. It's going to vary from the ship, but this is what was available on the Wish this year. You're going to have apparel and collectibles and plushies, of course, pre-packaged treats, Disney ears, Disney lounge flies, and like home decor. But like I said, it's going to be different among the ships.
Yes. And oh my gosh, it looks so good right about now. But those different like sippers and popcorn buckets too, I feel like just getting more and more popular.
Yeah, so the sippers and popcorn buckets are going to be at Preludes outside of the Walt Disney Theater. And some of the bars on the pool deck will have them as well. So this year we had the Nightmare Before Christmas car popcorn bucket, and then there was also like the standard popcorn bucket, just the cylinder one that had Halloween decor printed on the outside, and then it was a mini sipper, right?
Yeah,
Sanderson's sister mini sipper.
Yep, and then there was a Mickey in a skeleton outfit.
Okay, so those are very popular too. And then kind of on that topic of food and drink. So in the main dining room, there's not a like much variation in the menu for the Halloween on the High Seas sailing, but people love this chocolate spider dessert. I actually saw some posts in our group recently that some people didn't get the spider on their sailing. We did
Interesting.
not. So I
Oh,
don't know if that's like a classic ship thing among the original four and the Wish they didn't do the spider. We had this picture was from when we were on the Fantasy last time for Halloween on the High Seas. So I don't know, maybe they're just changing it up. But I know Rebecca, you had it on your sailing, right? And you were on the
yeah.
Fantasy.
Yes, we did, and it was delicious. I can confirm it is the
It is
only
so good.
spider that I will welcome because any other spider, I'm out.
Yeah. So if you're really looking for something really themed, a treat, the specialty sweet shops on the Dream Fantasy and Wish are where you're going to find those themed desserts. And they are for purchase. And then
Mhm.
also Cove Cafe on the original four ships, and then on the Wish Cove or like Wishing Star and the other coffee shops, they will have latte art that you can get themed. I've seen the pumpkin, I've seen Sanderson sisters, I've seen Jack and Sally. So
So
there
cool.
is themed latte art as well, and the lattes are for purchase as well.
Very cool. And I've never actually eaten at any of the specialty sweet shops on board. I've walked there a million times and I always say I'm going to come back. Have you tried any of the sweets in there? Are they good?
We tried them on at Joyful Sweets on the Wish, not for the Halloween ceiling, but previously. And I didn't think it was anything to write home about for purchase. Like I wouldn't purchase again. And I'm pretty sure a couple of years ago, like before COVID, we had something from Sweet on You on the Fantasy, but I don't remember what we got. Now, my daughter in Joyful Sweets, they had like the chocolate ball that you can break and then candy open. She thought that was the greatest thing ever.
Oh, so
But for
cute.
what it is, they're pricey. I'm not gonna lie. I know a lot of people say like the gelato and the shops are really good, but I haven't tried it.
Good to know.
I'm
Yeah,
just here for the free unlimited ice cream on the pool deck. So
you and me both. Oh, and speaking of candy,
yeah, so I think the trick or treating is different on the ships, like the classic original four ships versus the Wish. So on the Wish, we on the pool deck, they handed out bags already filled with candy,
oh,
and you just
interesting.
walked up, grabbed it from the table, and that was it. Whereas on the Fantasy, they had and the other four, all the original four ships, they had like trick or treating spots set up on the pool deck where you could walk, kind of like they do at Mickey's Not So Scary or Oogie Boogie Bash at the parks, and you walk to each location on the pool deck to fill your bag. But that
Wow,
is not how it was on the Wish, at least not on our Halloween sailing. We walked to the table, grabbed a bag, and that was the end of it. And they did have allergy friendly bags if you asked.
very.
Now, our Facebook group for our specific sailing made a list of all the staterooms that would have candy outside of their room. And there was a lot of them. So if you want to participate in more of like a trick-or-treating style activity, I would definitely recommend joining your specific sailing on Facebook. And if they haven't already, you could also ask to set up a trick-or-treating list. And then everybody who plans to set candy outside of their stateroom, um, they will put the room number on that list and they'll publish that list before you're sailing
Very
so
cool.
that people can go around and trick or treat. We did not do this, but our Facebook group did. Like we didn't participate, and I saw lots of moms walking around with their phones. Okay, we have to go to this room number now.
Yeah,
So that's a nice thing that you can do if you want the real trick or treating experience.
I love that idea. That's so creative. I feel like Disney cruisers just keep getting more and more creative with what they're doing on board. But I love that. We did the stations around the pool deck and through the buffet. And I will say, if you're worried about your kids not having candy, don't be. I don't know about you, Hunter, but we had so much candy. And of course, you're
Yes,
not even eating it on the cruise because you're eating everything
so
else.
much
So,
food already.
oh my
Yeah, so
gosh.
we had so much candy. I wasn't even sure I wanted to bring it all home. And I laughed because as we were walking through the halls on like the last night, people had their bags of candy outside their door, like wanting other people to take them.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, so do not worry about bringing extra candy for your kids. They will be covered.
So character appearances. I think I say this every time we're on the live, but Disney Cruise Line has the best character appearances compared to the theme parks. So specific to the Halloween sailings, there will be chances to see the characters in their Halloween costumes, as well as their normal nautical costumes, as well as the pirate costumes. And then there will also be special character appearances, like the Sanderson sisters made over, because it's really Clarabelle, Minnie, and Daisy as the Sanderson sisters. I've also seen Jack and Sally make an appearance on the Halloween on the High Seas Sailing. So there's definitely special character appearances, but you'll also see the Fab Five in their costumes.
And all of these are included in the price of your sailing, right?
Yep.
Oh, love it. Yeah, I will say Jack and Sally was definitely the longest line that we waited in on our 7-day cruise. I think they were out maybe like 4 times over the course of the whole cruise. So definitely not as much as, you know, some of the other characters. We probably waited 30 minutes, maybe. So still not that long compared to some of the hour-plus long waits that we've had in the park before. But oh my, it was so much fun. No reservations needed. And Jack scared a member of my family so bad, and it was awesome.
It's important to note that if you want to see these coveted characters, the lines start forming 15, 20 plus minutes before the time the characters even appear. So keep that in mind, and they will shut the lines down.
Yes.
Same was on our sailing. The Sanderson sisters met probably 3, 4, 5 times. Jack and Sally, I did not see the opportunity to meet them on the Wish Bar sailing, but we had previously seen them on the Dream and Fantasy.
Good to know. And I'm glad you brought that up. When we met the Sanderson sisters, it was very much a well-oiled machine. It was one picture, one group. It wasn't like we could all take individuals. And they had something that was pre-printed with their signatures on it. So you weren't waiting for the individual signatures. So they do want to move everybody through as fast as possible. But if that is a priority for you, get there early.
All right. So stateroom decor. You will see tons of magnets on stateroom doors, Halloween themes. We always get a magnet for every cruise. So for our magnet, we had like a Mickey pumpkin and then the cruise date and our family name, etc. You can also purchase Halloween decorations for the stateroom through the onboard stateroom gift on the Disney Cruise Line website. And we did that this cruise. So there was our blanket and Mickey pumpkin on the bed, as well as the decorative hanger. And then also on Halloween night, we had a pumpkin as our towel animal.
Adorable. And I know we always get the question of, I'm sailing for Halloween and the room decor packages aren't up yet. When are they going to be up? When can I order this? About when can people expect these to become available?
So I believe mine was like purchased in August.
Okay.
But they aren't terribly early. And sometimes I have seen this happen where they won't be listed online, but if you call, you can purchase it on the phone.
Yeah. Yes. I was going to say, and that's somewhere where your travel agent can help too, and having those conversations and getting things added to your reservation. And you know, it's something, it's an extra piece of magic. I mean, I don't know about what you guys got, but when we've gotten these in the past, everything's been really great quality.
Yes. So those blankets are so cozy. We have 4 of them now. We have the Marvel, we have the Halloween, we have Star Wars from the old Star Wars Stay at Sea Sailing, and then we have Very Merry Time, and they are so cozy. I love them. I do want to mention there is a deadline to adding onboard gifts to your stateroom. You cannot purchase them if you are within 3 days of sailing.
Good to know.
So it's better to purchase those early.
And you can't purchase them on the ship. You have to coordinate that ahead of time. Awesome.
Yep.
And yes, they can sell out. Good point from Sheldon on that one. These are definitely in high demand.
Awesome. All right. The Masquerade Party. This is super fun. It's just a high energy deck party. You'll see characters and songs and dancing. It lasts about 20 minutes. And again, you'll see it in the Navigator app. You can heart it. It'll send you a notification 15 minutes before it starts. People start picking out their spots forever early. I think we got up there like 30 minutes early. In the front, like stage area was all taken up. So we went upstairs.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
what we
gave
did too.
the kids were able to run around all over. Um, and the times can vary. So I'm pretty sure ours started at 45 on the Wish.
Interesting.
This
Okay.
picture was from Rebecca's sailing, and that was 6:30.
Yeah, so definitely keep your eyes when a lot of people don't realize that the navigator looks different when you're not on the ship. So when you're on board, it'll have a full day's worth of
Yes.
activities for you to look at. So you can go in that morning and look at the day ahead and see what these events are. And like Hunter said, you just heart it, and then it'll send you a push notification, and you can kind of plan your day around that way. Oh, but it's so much fun. I love that the characters go into the crowd to dance with people too. It's not just them
Yeah.
up
So
on
if you're
stage.
in the front row, the kids will get quite the show. But like I said, show up really early if you want to be in the front row.
Yes, yes, definitely.
So other Halloween activities on board are movies playing in the theaters. Again, those will be in the Navigator app. Halloween crafts. They don't always say what the craft will be, so just keep that in mind. Halloween specific trivia. On our sailing, there was both family friendly and adult only Halloween trivia. And then I'm really sad and regretful that I didn't go to the Villainous Takeover. But on the Wish, the Villainous Takeover happened in Hero Zone, which is like the big gym area where they have the blow up, the Incredible Course. The Villainous Takeover is adult only. There's dancing and villain appearances, specialty cocktails, and a costume contest. And I think it
Oh,
started at like the reason we didn't go is because Match Your Mate was the same night.
oh, that's
Yeah, and
terrible time.
that was
Oh,
the worst thing to choose between. But that's why we didn't go. And I know I kind of have a little bit of regret that we didn't go. But I talked to
sounds
some
like
people
you
on
need to
board and
go
they said it
again.
was a good time. Did you go to yours?
So there was a contest that was going on. I did not go that night. There's so much happening on board. And people forget that, there's so much to do once you get on the ship. And that's why I always say, don't try and like pack your days ahead of time because you don't know
Yeah.
what there is. But I missed it. Some of my family did go and they raved about it. So I'm in the same boat or ship that you are, where I'm like, why didn't I go to that one? So sounds like you and I both need to go on Halloween Saillands again next year.
Yes, I agree. So just a little plug about what Rebecca said, that people get so sad when they miss an onboard like activity booking. Don't. All of these things that we talked about tonight, other than specialty coffee and specialty treats, is included in your sailing. And
Mhm.
there are normally 2 to 3 activities going on at the same time every day, all day.
Yeah.
So if there's, like I said, I wanted to go to a game show, but this was going on. So I had to pick and choose. You can have so much fun and do so many things without worrying about the Royal Court tea or Olaf's picnic. Like there are so many things to do that are included for adults and families that you don't need to pay extra. You really,
Yeah.
really don't. And a lot of people cancel those. So ask guest services when you get on board. So Rebecca and I are always so sad to see first timers feel really left out when they don't get those other onboard bookings. But my advice as a first timer is don't do anything extra. Like
No.
do what's included. Don't spend more money
Yes.
because
Oh, I
you
could
will
not
still
agree
have a
more.
great time and have plenty to do.
Yes. I feel like, especially after this last Halloween on the high seas sailing, I was exhausted after because we did so much and we only had 2 things over the course of 7 days that we had pre-booked. So don't stress, you guys. Don't stress. I promise it's going to be wonderful and amazing. Hunter and I probably didn't have anything on our first cruises, and look at us. We're 20 plus deep at this point.
So all of this to say that the Halloween on the high seas are really special. All of these extra Halloween included activities are included in your cruise fare, and it's just a way to make your Disney cruise even more magical see the characters, dress up in costume, and I really hope that now there's my gang from this year. There
Oh,
was 10 of us. Oh, you're
there we
fine.
go.
I'm sure there was 10 of us all in costume, and we had so much fun. So my best friend and her family went as Peter Pan, and my family did Frozen, and we had a great time. And we actually requested Arendelle on Halloween night, so that since my family was doing Frozen, and we all wore our costumes to dinner, and people thought it was great.
Oh, that's awesome. And I'm glad you brought that up because people will ask, do I need a costume for the sailing? Do people actually wear them? So can you talk a little bit about that? Like, were you guys the only ones in costumes or were a lot of people dressed up?
I would say the majority were in costumes.
Yeah.
At least there was definitely adults that weren't in costume, but pretty much every single kid was. But there were a lot of adults in costumes, lots of coordinating family costumes. And then the adults that weren't in costume, a lot of them were wearing like Halloween themed, like shirts or something. But you
Yeah.
actually do not need to dress up if that's outside of your comfort zone or you just don't feel like it. It's your vacation. You can do what you wish with it. We just enjoyed the opportunity to dress up and do coordinating costumes. It's just really fun.
Yes. Oh, and there's just something about dressing up and being on board with everybody. It's so much fun. Even if you do a simple t-shirt and like headpiece. I did a mini dress with mini ears, right? You don't have to go all out, but if you want to go
Yeah.
all out, it's a lot of fun. So now
And
we're
you don't
going to
have
get
to
into,
wear them all night.
yeah, so true. Yes, you can change. You don't have to stay
I
in it all
ditched my
day.
dress. I ditched my Anna dress right after dinner. I was like, okay, I've had enough.
Yeah.
But we got the pictures. It was fun. Kids loved it.
Yes.
It was a good time.
That's what matters. And we're going to dive into questions now, guys. So if you have any, send them in. Somebody's asking, are there activities at Castaway Lighthouse Point we don't know much about yet? But is there anything at Castaway that's themed?
No, there's nothing Halloween themed on Castaway. Now, when you get off the ship, they will have the Mickey ring and it'll have like a pumpkin face in it that you could take a picture with. But as far as Halloween themed activities, there was not any on Castaway.
Yeah, there's something when you get off the ship for the Very Merry Time, but for some reason that just doesn't make it off for Halloween, which is
Yeah.
interesting. And someone's asking, was Oogie Boogie on the Wish? And I didn't even know that this was a thing until this year. So can you shed a little bit of light on the what goes on at the parks compared to what goes on the ships?
So Oogie Boogie was not on the Wish. I didn't even see Jack and Sally on the Wish. At the parks, so it's split by the coast. At Walt Disney World, it's Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. It's in Magic Kingdom. There are special character appearances. There's a special stage show, special parade, special trick-or-treating, shorter lines, all the things. It's an additional ticketed event. So that is one big difference. The theme park Halloween events are additional costs. They're not included with your park ticket. It's an additional ticket that you have to purchase. And then on the West Coast, we have Oogie Boogie's Bash, and that is in California Adventure. And it's the same concept. There's trick-or-treat trails, a show, there are character appearances, there's a parade, and then the lines are shorter, and it is, again, a special event ticket, so an additional cost.
Got it. Okay.
Both are really fun. We kind of like, so in 2021, we did it was Boo Bash at the time because it's still COVID, on Halloween night. Then in 2022, we did Oogie Boogie's Bash on Halloween night. And then we just did the Halloween on the High Seas sailing over Halloween. And then we've also done Mickey's Not So Scary. This wasn't over Halloween. So while they are really fun, they're additional cost. And then Halloween on the High Seas, all of it's included in your cruise fare.
Yeah, and I was going to say, if you guys are interested in mixing and matching the parks with the cruise, Hunter's really good at putting those puzzles together. We did an event, was it last month or the month before, about kind of comparing and contrasting Disney cruises in the park. So if you want to go to either Oogie Boogie or Not So Scary, work with Hunter. She can price everything out, and maybe it's staying at a family or like a value resort versus the Grand Floridian and adding your cruise. There's different ways to mix and match and customize your vacation specifically for what your family wants out of it.
Yeah, I actually had clients do 3 nights at the parks and then a fortnight on the Wish this year.
Well,
And they
awesome.
did Mickey's Not So Scary while they were at the parks. And then they did Halloween on the High Seas. So you can definitely do a land and sea package, as we like to call it, but we just book them as separate components. You
Awesome.
get
Okay.
best of both worlds.
Yes, agreed. That's such a good way to do it. And definitely want to have a travel advisor in your pocket to help with that because there's a lot of moving pieces and they are not the same reservation. And then, question for you: is there a pirate night on these sailings?
Yes, we still had a pirate night.
Still, yeah, so did we. A lot of people freak out that they're not going to get one. As long as you're sailing right in the Caribbean or the Bahamas, you will have that pirate night.
Correct.
And then, do you have to wear costumes? Is it mandatory?
No, you don't have
No.
to wear costumes for
Okay.
either night, pirate
Yeah.
night or the Halloween.
Yes, agreed. Even if you go to one of the events, no one's going to stop you if you don't have an outfit on. It's about you being comfortable. And then, are Halloween on the High Seas cruises worth the cost? Are they additional costs? And if so, are they worth it?
So generally, they are not additional cost because actually the September and October sailings are some of the most reasonable sailing prices that you'll see throughout the year. Everything that we've talked about tonight is included except for the specialty coffee and specialty treats, and then those sippers and popcorn buckets. But you're not paying a premium for the name, so to speak, because every sailing during that time frame is themed Halloween.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you go and compare September sailings and October sailings to like June, July, August, they're significantly cheaper.
And you said every sailing, so it doesn't matter what ship you're on from that mid-September all the way through that Halloween. All of those are going to be Halloween on the High Seas?
So the ones that are leaving from the States are definitely Halloween on the High Seas. And actually, they were all from the States
This year.
this
That's
year.
right.
Yeah.
Right. That's interesting. Okay.
So
Yeah.
I saw next year, since the Dream is having that refurbishment period, and there's no New York sailings, the Dream starts later than September, but that's only because it's out of commission for refurbishment during a lot of September.
Got it. That makes sense. So yeah, if this is important to you and your family, if this is definitely the sailing that you want to do, reach out to Hunter. She can kind of give you all the available dates for the ships and the ports you're wanting to leave from. Now, let's kind of flip it here. If I do not care at all about Halloween, if I am like the bah humbug of Halloween, Scrooge of Halloween, am I still going to have a good time, or is it just going to be Halloween in my face in every inch of the ship?
I personally think you're still going to have a good time. You don't have to go to any of the Halloween activities if you don't want to. As long as you can get past the decorations in the atrium and the window clings on the portholes, then you'll be unaffected by the theming.
Yeah, totally agree. And then, good question. What was the weather like for you in October?
Our weather on Castaway was great. It wasn't too hot. It was mid 80s, I believe. There was a little bit of a breeze. We had a great time. It wasn't scorching like September. So we had no complaints. We're from the Midwest, so we're used to it being colder at that time of the year anyway. So the water temperature was perfect for us. Actually, I saw pretty much everybody in the water.
Yeah, I was going to say we had a little bit of rain when we were at the different ports. The weather was perfect, 80s, perfect beach weather. It did rain on our Castaway day, so that stunk, but we still got out on the island. And then once the rain let up, everybody wanted to get off the ship and play. But again, the weather was great. I feel like, a lot of people hesitate to sail that time because it's hurricane season, but
yes, that's just what I was going to say.
Yeah,
September and October is part of hurricane season. Hurricane season officially is June to November. So it does fall in there. I have sailed many times June, July, August, September, and October and November, and we have had a great time. Disney is safety. They rarely cancel sailings, but if there were a tropical storm or hurricane, they can most times reroute a sailing or extend or delay a sailing so that it's the best it can be. They want you guys to be happy because it's best case scenario for them. So they will try to reroute if possible to make sure that your sailing still goes off without a hitch, regardless of hurricanes. It's just always a possibility during that time of year.
Yes. And I saw the question, do villains come out more during Halloween? I didn't see any villains on my sailing.
So I did not see any villains, except the villain appearances did happen at the adult only villainous party. But again, I didn't go and have regret for that. But you will see more villains and have more villain character meet and greet opportunities at the parties in the theme parks.
Good to know. And then last question for you, I have to ask, just because I see the tree behind you, we're talking about Halloween. It's that time after Thanksgiving, right? We're in between. How do you kind of help your clients decide Very Merry Time versus Halloween on the High Seas? Because they're both so amazing.
They are. Personally, I would choose Very Merry Time. But I think unless you are a die-hard Christmas or Halloween fan, I would just go when it works best for your schedule.
Yeah, I totally agree.
The Halloween sailings are going to be a little bit more budget friendly, typically. The Very Merry Time, the cheapest ones are typically the first and second week of December. So that's also something to think about. But personally, whenever fits your schedule, regardless if it's a themed cruise.
Yes. Oh, I could not agree more. And that's another great reason to reach out to Hunter. She can price out the different options for you and work with you based on where you're flying from. She's got clients that she works with from across the country. So she is here to help you and your family plan that perfect Disney cruise, whether it's your first or your 50th, whether you do a themed sailing or not, you're still going to have an amazing time. So if you guys have any questions, reach out to Hunter. That's the link to her page on the DCL community site. And I will get this in the comments as well for everybody. But she is here to help you plan that perfect Disney cruise. Hunter, thank you so much for taking this time today to talk us through all things Halloween. And we will see everybody on board real soon. Bye, guys.